Hey, this is Rocket Brain Surgeon, and today we're talking about the T54E1. This is a Tier 9 US medium tank with below average mobility, below average armor, but it does have a 4-round clip autoloader. With an average damage of 400 per shot, 4 on the clip, 1600 is capable of taking out a lot of tanks from full to dead. The downside to the gun, the base round penetration at 210 is definitely a bit low, especially because the gun does not have an incredible amount of accuracy. So premium round usage is definitely encouraged with this tank. I am a very slow learner and very cheap, so I tend to use a lot of base ammo, but the correct play is definitely to use almost all APCR. The reticle bloom on the tank is fine when you're traversing the turret, but it is not fine when you're traversing the tracks. That means that your aiming circle gets very large when you move your tracks left to right. When you're just moving your turret, it's not a huge deal. So try to pull out front to back without turning left or right when you're going to do peekaboo, otherwise you're going to need to spend too much time aiming. Defensively, the tank is quite poor. The frontal armor is definitely based on angles as well as the turret, so that's a good upgrade over something like the French tanks where they have just weird, huge, boxy turrets that are just way too thin. That's not a problem with the T54E1. However, it's not going to bounce a lot of shots. Don't try and count on that. And you can see here I'm moving back. It does not have a lot of camouflage either. Even though it's designated a medium tank, they can definitely see me from ranges I'm not accustomed to. The people in front of me are less spotted than I am. Seriously, I am all the way in the back, and I was about 450 meters, like literally almost out of view range from these guys, and they were still spotting me. That's pretty crazy. But again, I'm a slow learner, so maybe they won't spot me this time. I'm seriously so bad at this game some days. One of the things that I think is underrated on most tanks is the side armor. You want to have enough side armor so you can pull reverse angling tricks around corners, and here again the T54E1 just does not live up to expectations. And I get spotted yet again from 452 meters. There's no one in front of him, so I mean he's probably sitting there with optics and binoculars and crew skills. I have no idea. So far this replay is just about me struggling, and it's going to continue about me struggling. The tank is very good. When you can get the gun into the game, it's incredibly effective. You can just clip out people left and right. But when you're in those situations where you need some camouflage, where you need that armor, where you need to do some reverse angling in a city, the tank just does not do that. So sometimes it can feel very similar to a tank destroyer where on some maps, yay, you're super useful, and on some maps, you're not that useful. A JP2 pops up in front in the middle for who knows what reason, and that's a good indication of what the gun can do. Just clip people out incredibly fast. The intra-clip reload time is very good. The clip reload time is about 34 seconds depending on crew skills and your equipment setup. Also, there's a very valid choice between the 105 and the 90mm. So the 90mm that you are familiar with from the T69 is present on the T54E1 as the stock gun, except it gets an extra round. So it has 5 rounds in the clip. And when you're shooting premium ammo out of that gun, it's very good and very effective. The gun handling is certainly better. Lower aim time, lower bloom, so on and so forth, but you do get less alpha, so it's only 240 damage per shot instead of 390. I like it when tanks have a little bit more customizable setups, so you can play around and see which gun works for your type of game. I tend to prefer larger alpha and low exposure time, that's why I have the 105 on the tank. However, the bloom and the aim time do kind of irritate me now and then. So I apologize if you were expecting a super awesome Let's Kill 'Em All replay, and I certainly have those. But this one was especially interesting to me because I believe it showcased everything about the tank. It has so-so mobility, not that great of armor, but it is capable of bouncing a shot or two now and then. The camouflage is non-existent, the bloom is really big, but when you can get that gun to work, anything in front of you is just going to melt. Hope you enjoyed. Happy hunting.